The trial of Christopher Schurr began today with a witness who testified about the effectiveness of tasers.
The former Grand Rapids police officer was carrying one when he got into a struggle with Patrick Loyola, and that struggle ended when Schurr shot Loyola in the back of the head with his gun. 13 Your Side's Callie Lichter is covering this trial for us. She joins us now live with today's testimony. Callie, for nearly 2 hours, both the prosecution and defense questioned the taser expert. Tell us what happened.
Like you said, it was 2 hours of just constant questioning from both the prosecution and defense of this expert who works at Axon, who makes both the tasers and the body cameras at the crux of this case. Now, the expert, his name was Brian Childs, and he's a senior manager at Axon Enterprises who makes, like I said, both the body cameras and tasers issued to GRPD officers. Childs works in forensics related to these items. Over the nearly 2 hours, we heard the prosecution question Childs to try and prove the taser would not have caused great bodily harm or death if Loyola would have gotten a hold of it. But the defense questioned if the taser could have incapacitated Schurr, leading him to be vulnerable.
If the taser probes are deployed on a subject, they are at risk of suffering NMI for a minimum of 5 seconds. Fair to say?
Experiencing, yes.
Okay. And deploys the probes at the officer, then that officer is vulnerable to perhaps have other weapons accessed or be assaulted. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. If they were under the effects of NMI, they can't defend themselves or their equipment.
We also got our first juror question if grass or dirt could impact the taser, with the answer being yes, it could. And we heard from 2 other witnesses, both on the use of force, with one witness's questioning starting tomorrow because they had to adjourn for today. Live at the Kent County Courthouse, I'm Callie Lichter, 13 on your side.
Kelly, thank you. Well, today was a tense day in the courtroom. Multiple objections and arguments among the defense, prosecution, and judge. 13 Your Side's Lauren Baker has been covering this case for our live stream. She joins us now in the newsroom. And Lauren, what were those arguments about?
Well, Elena, many of those arguments involve witness Seth Stoughton. He's a lawyer, professor, and former police officer who the prosecution brought in as a use of force expert. He's made a career in studying police conduct, including misconduct. During his questioning after jurors left the room, the defense and prosecution argued over whether or not he should be able to give an expert opinion on the use of a taser, even before he was questioned by the prosecution. Take a listen to that exchange.
And if you let me finish, I'm sorry, I can, just because I'm starting out with that, and then I can say, can you explain why that is? He won't let me do that because, I don't have to do my direct based on what he'd like to hear first.
I agree, Your Honor. Okay. I'm sorry, but I thought Mr. Bloomfield was testifying about that. Okay. Because this is based on tasers.
Right, but you didn't ask him about a taser.
He's about to.
Well, you didn't, so you're objecting about something that hasn't happened. It's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to rule this.
Well, because he's going to give his ultimate opinion about the taser before he establishes that he's a taser expert.
It's still part of his opinion. I could go into the decision. It's one of the things, but I don't have to get into his details of a taser. That's part of the whole thing he's been testifying about, the totality of the circumstances.
The judge sided with the prosecution, saying they had not asked Stoughton about that taser at that point. But even before this, the defense tried to argue that he should have not been allowed to take the stand in the first place, saying that his opinions were not relevant to the case. But there was a lot more tense moments in the court. We recapped all those moments on our live blog that's up right now on 13onyourside.com. In the newsroom, Lauren Baker, 13 on your side.
And we are carrying the full trial on our streaming app, 13+. Our live stream starts at 8:30 every morning. But the judge has ordered that the stream must be on a 30-minute delay. So that means we cannot show the trial until 9 a.m. And during that half hour, our Lauren Baker will explain what is expected to happen that day. We will also hear from experts and our reporters in and outside of the courtroom during breaks. Again, it's all on our streaming app, 13+, that you can download on your TV, and it's free.